Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in. My name is Bradley, also known as the Swim Coach. Now, today we're going to be talking about Game Week 11. Now, this is the last week before we have an international break. So, you want to try and think about your games coming up from week 12 onwards. Have a little look. Do you want to do a substitution now? Then they go away on international duty, then they get injured. So, I would say try and hold off much substitutions as you can. You still got your free play or your wild card. I probably wouldn't use them this week. I'll probably wait until the week after for the international break, just purely because then any of your players come back injured or they come back late. They may not play straight away. They may be on the bench. So have a look at that. We're also today going to be talking about captains. Now, someone did mention in my last chat, and I've been seeing some other videos about captains. So I thought, let's discuss it today. And then we'll have a look at those top transfer players as well, and why you should have this player, why you shouldn't have this player. But yeah, so if anyone does like this video, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It'd be much appreciated. And I want to see if I can get to 100 subscribers by the end of this year. So let's see. We've got 6 weeks, 7 weeks. Let's go for it. Push yourselves. Okay, let's get into the video and let's see the fixtures first of all for this game week. So it is a 11 o'clock deadline on Saturday. So just be careful with that, okay? The 11 o'clock deadline. So we start off. It is a biggish game-ish. We have Spurs against Manchester United at 12:30. Then we only have 2 3 o'clock kickoffs. We have Everton Forest, West Ham Burnley. That's a very big game down there, West Ham Burnley. Then we go near to the top of the league, okay? We have third place Sunderland versus the mighty Arsenal at 5:30. Then we have probably a bit of a mismatch here. Chelsea versus Wolves at an 8 o'clock kickoff. That's going to be a very interesting game, I think. Then we go to our Sunday games. We have 4 games on Sunday, all 2 o'clock kickoffs, these 4. So we have Villa versus Bournemouth, Brentford versus Newcastle, Palace versus Brighton, Nottingham Forest, Leeds. And then at 4:30, we have the big game. We have Manchester City versus Liverpool. Okay, so from looking at this, okay, who would you captain? Now, Haaland's against Liverpool. Liverpool did beat Real Madrid in their last game, but have conceded lots of goals in the Premier League. So that could be a bit of an eye-opener there. Forest not doing really well against Leeds, who have been getting some results in. Palace versus Brighton. Well, they consider this a derby game, so I think there's going to be high tensions, and I think there's going to be some yellow cards in there, so I would avoid probably some of those players here. Brentford, Newcastle. Ooh, I think that's a bit of a tight call. Villa, Bournemouth, again, I think Villa playing in the Europa League Conference, but it was a home game, so they've got back-to-back home games against Bournemouth, who didn't play during the week. It could be a bit of an interesting one, but yeah, for me, I'm going to say this now. You got a choice. You either captain the Chelsea player and take a gamble, or do you go for an Arsenal player against Sunderland. Now, I think someone, and I'm going to use an ex-Arsenal player here for Sunderland, Xhaka. He will probably have a shot outside of the box. So he will try and shoot a lot from outside the box. So is there going to be a chance for an on-shot target? Potentially. But Arsenal players do know what Xhaka's like. So that could be an interesting one there. For me personally, do you go for an Arsenal player as a captain over Haaland against Liverpool? Oof, that's a tricky one. If I had the choice, and I haven't heard the team news from coming back from the Champions League game, the person who did score twice out there, Mourinho, he could be a good option, but that's a big risk. Someone like Rice could be a very interesting one as well. Gabriel could be, but again, as I said, Xhaka may have a go a lot more trying to shots. I could see that Arsenal conceding some shots on target for a change. And I think that could be an issue. West Ham versus Burnley. Now, this is something that West Ham beating Chelsea in the last game. Burnley, well, it's a big game. Can West Ham win back-to-back games in the Premier League? And I'm going to say this now. Someone like Lucas Paquetá, Bowen could be an option as well. And that's me being a bit risky there. Everton, Fulham, someone like Grealish maybe, if he's there. The Dyer, he's got a marker on him. You got a Wobie for Fulham maybe, but at the moment I'll be looking at someone like an Arsenal or Chelsea player as my main target. Spurs, United. Well, I'm going to say this now. You never know which Spurs team's going to turn up and what Spurs or what United team's going to turn up. So for me personally, do you go for a Spurs or United player? Probably not. And I think that's going to be a feisty game as well. So think about that as your decisions, okay? Now, we're going to go and have a look at the top transfer players in and talk about why. Now, Mateo, yes, done really well. Averaging 4.8 points per game, 48 points. Nice. Do I like him? Yes. Do I like their fixtures coming up? Yes. So that could be a interesting one there for you guys. But if you look here against Liverpool and against Arsenal, didn't do well. Don't they? Liverpool, Palace did beat Liverpool. He didn't do well in the game. So have a look at that. Rice, well, you know you're going to get low. Look at Rice's points. 6.3 points as a midfielder. Only second averaged. So that is something you guys got to look at. The top average points per. So he's worth a good shout to have in your team. Fixtures coming up. Okay. They're all threes. I wouldn't have said Sunderland at the start of the season was a 3. I would say it was a 2. But still. Then we got Spurs after that international break. That's a little bit of a tricky one. But I kind of like this, and we can keep it going, okay? So there are some hard fixtures coming up for Arsenal, but if you look, three out of the 5, I'll show you. 3 out of the 5 are in London, so not much travelling to be done. And we'll probably have a Champions League game between that as well. which will probably be a home game as well. So there we go. Casado, very good. But the problem with sometimes with Casado, as you can't see on here. No, it's not on here. For me, he's very hit and miss. Okay, he performs well in the good games, but in the average games, doesn't really do well. So against Wolves, he should do really well. But Wolves Burnley coming up, that could be a good option. As you can see, there's a lot of Palace, Arsenal and Chelsea in this top lineup. And as I said, I totally agree. Someone like Declan Rice could be a good one as captain because of maybe getting an assist. Gabriel defending. But as you can see, 42% of people got him. 11 points averaging, okay, or form-wise, 8 per match. And that is what you got to look at. Bonus-wise, getting some good bonus points in there as well. If you look at his games, assist, goals. So, yeah, had 2 assists and a goal this season already. And we've had that little good form throughout. And we haven't conceded. We've only conceded 3 goals in the whole of the Premier League so far. So there's good chance. Brian, he's another shout for captaincy because some fixtures coming up or to have him in your team. Gahey again, but I'm going to say this now with them playing against Brighton and with Danny Welbeck on form as well. As I said, it's going to be a feisty game. And I think that's what people got to look at. Look at this, Haaland. 70% of people have got Erling Haaland in their team. So look closely. Think about it. Okay, yes. Form-wise, he is the number 1 formed forward at the moment. With 9.8 averaging points. Villa, he didn't do anything about at Villa. And they did lose. So that's what I think people got to look at of how Liverpool, how Villa played against City. That's what I think people got to try and do. With them got Liverpool and Newcastle coming up. Is that going to be tricky? Yes. And I think looking through, watch out. Okay. Simeo again got some good fixtures coming up, but recently hasn't been doing well. So has the pressure got to him a little bit? Another person I'm going to say is one of my first Liverpool players that I'm going to mention about, and that is Gravenberch. Okay, he didn't do well against Brentford, but he didn't play because he only played 61 minutes in the Manchester United game, but did play the full 90 in the Villa game. So if he does play against City, good. But then look at their fixtures coming up. Forest, West Ham, Sunderland. That is impressive fixtures coming up. So have a little look through there. And then as you look through all the way through the next month. And here's the other thing is, Liverpool play Leeds twice in a month in the Premier League. There are some other teams that are like that as well. I can't remember who the other team was. Oh, there you go. Newcastle Burnley. The 6th and then the 30th. So only literally like game week 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, they play each other. There's only 3 games between them, and they play each other again. Now, is that for everyone? Because that would be very weird. Game week 15, yeah. Game week 15 and game week 19, they play each other again. So, that, game week 15, Fulham, game week 19, yeah. So everyone on game week 15 plays each other on game week 19. Oh, that's good little heads up information for you guys. So have a look very closely at that. Now, the top transfers out. I totally agree with the top 2. I totally agree with the top 2. Purely because of injury speculation. One is 75%. One is 25%. So can understand that. Ranger, now it's because of the fixtures, and he only played 17 minutes in the last game. So I can understand that. Baltimore, yeah, only played 45 minutes. But did he play in the Champions League game? Did he play in the Champions League game? Let's have a little quick look. I'm sure he played in the Champions League game. Yes, he played in the Champions League game, 83 minutes. So, yeah, maybe. And but some fixtures are a bit tricky coming up. Okay, fine. Grealish is another one that's there, but since he couldn't play against City, his performance has been quite bad. So hopefully, coming up, he might start picking up. But you never know. Richarlison, well, his form is just... I wouldn't even have him in my team. Pedro, yes. But it's very hit and miss. And that's what you don't want for players. So keep a close eye out. And that is my things about captaincies and players for this video. So for now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It'd be much appreciated. And good luck for game week 11.